A cloud rock star coming up next on SDR News. SDR News coverage of AWS reInvent was made possible by Dome9, total control and visibility over your cloud, and by Garantia, the in-memory NoSQL company offering enterprise-class Redis for developers. Encapsula, website security, always-on protection from bots and DDoS and real-time stats on visitors and threats. Skillbase, leveraging MySQL and scaling out data at the speed of your business. And eMind, architecting, building, and operating enterprise-grade clouds in billion-dollar HIPAA, PCI DSS, and SOX environments. More coverage of AWS reInvent online or on the SDR News Roku channel.
Hi, Tim Crawford of Evtt here as part of SDR News, and I'm joined right now by one of our cloud rock stars, Chris Kemp from Nebula, who was one of the founders of Nebula. So welcome to the program.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Tim.
Always great to see you. So tell me a little bit about what Nebula is up to these days.
Nebula has a hardware appliance that allows you to take a handful of inexpensive servers and basically build your own private Amazon availability zone in your own data center. So it's very complementary to folks that are running a lot in the public cloud, but have some aspect of their workload for security or compliance reasons, or just because there's a lot of data that they don't want to move out into the public cloud. They want to do that locally in their own data center, in their own infrastructure.
So if I'm looking at something like Amazon, but I'm not ready to go that far for public cloud, and maybe want to leverage my knowledge inside my own data center, this is where Nebula really plays?
Yeah, I think there's a few key areas. I think a lot of our customers have applications that have large data sets, and so moving that data across the public internet into the Amazon infrastructure just is too time consuming or expensive. The other area is security, where you have your own local security policies and ways of achieving compliance, and you want to apply those to the system, and that's hard to do in Amazon, but it is something you can do in your own environment.
Okay, great. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you a question or two about OpenStack. Right. So tell me about what you're doing with OpenStack.
Well, so Nebula is one of the companies that really believes in the Amazon ecosystem and the Amazon APIs. So we have support in our product for the Amazon EC2 and Amazon S3 API. So companies that are running their applications and have tools that are built on top of this ecosystem here are finding that it works with the Nebula system as well. We also really believe in security, and I think OpenStack as an implementation doesn't really have an opinion on security. When you're running it out of the box based on the configuration that you download off of the OpenStack website, it's not exactly the most secure system in the world. So because that's implementation specific, we've taken a lot of our effort over the past few years, and we put it into the security of the system at the underlying hardware level, all the way up the stack through the kernels and hypervisors, through the hardware that we expose on our device, where we're able to have an extremely secure implementation of the cloud, the private cloud system.
So you're one of the early contributors, you might say. I mean, that's putting it very lightly, to OpenStack.
Our team is a large and early contributor. I think that's fair to say.
Right. I mean, you've been involved with OpenStack from the early days, right? So tell me about what you're personally doing with OpenStack and contributing and help drive and would like to see.
Yeah, well, our company is still very involved in all the individual projects, and we've seen new projects emerge, and you'll see Nebula's fingerprints on a lot of the different projects out there today. But what's happening, which is really exciting, is we're starting to see the projects become higher level. So we're starting to see projects like the Heat project take Amazon CloudFormation and provide a way to make entire applications run on a cloud and express the way that very complex applications can be very easily deployed in a cloud environment. And it's starting to make it a lot easier for folks that don't really understand this whole cloud computing thing to become productive very rapidly in a cloud environment. And I think that's probably the most exciting thing that's happening right now. So we're getting that into our product as quickly as we can. And there's a lot of companies that have focused on interoperability with the old stuff, and things like software-defined networking, integration with storage is something we're really into at Nebula. So you can really take advantage of your existing investments that you've made in storage, in this new era of cloud.
So a lot of folks I think are confused by OpenStack, confused by public cloud, and where it really fits into the traditional enterprise. When you consider Nebula and you consider OpenStack, I mean, what's a good place for them to get started?
Well, I think what we're trying to do is make it very easy for an enterprise that might have a large investment in VMware to bring up a cloud. and see how that cloud system is complementary to what they're using in their VMware environment. And VMware is really a great thing if you've got a lot of old applications running on a lot of infrastructure you've got in your data center, and you want to consolidate all of that and run it very efficiently. VMware's taken one server and turned it into 10, in effect. Nebula's going the opposite direction, and we're turning 10 or 100 or more servers into one again, so that you can run these really big applications that are going to run on the resources of many, many, many servers. And I think that's a very different problem that is becoming more prevalent as enterprises tackle big data problems, as we build new mobile platforms serving larger numbers of end users, and re-architect our websites to be more dynamic and interactive on a new generation of mobile devices and browsers.
Very good. Chris, it's always a pleasure to see you. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, great to be here.
Great.
Cheers.